There's an emotion we don't talk about very much, but that can keep us stuck or free us entirely to move forward in our lives, and it's the emotion of grief. This is Dr. Aitsi-Selmi for another episode of Wise Wednesdays. I was asked in a coaching session this last week by a client about how to let go of regret, which is a form of incomplete grief. And I want to share a tool that helped her and might help you. And one of the reasons I felt I was able to help her is because I've had lots of conversations with family around loss of a family member recently due to COVID, and I've had a lot of time to think about grief and how to process it, but also because the past year with the pandemic has asked us to change a lot and adapt and therefore grieve. So whether you realize it or not, you've also been asked to grieve, even if you haven't lost something obvious. You may have had to you may feel you've lost a way of life or a way of working or a way of connecting. So in terms of grieving, many people have heard of the Kubler-Ross framework or the stages of grief, and that grief comes in waves and it includes different emotions. These are the 5: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. If you haven't and you're interested, there's lots of information online about it. But today I want to talk about another tool that's a bit more proactive. It gives people a sense that you can do something, not just be at the effect of the emotions. As always, awareness is the foundation of any transformation. It's about being connected and aware of what's going on for you and not rejecting it or reacting against it. So, the 4 tasks of grieving, according to a psychologist called William Worden. Number 1, accept the reality of the loss. So that's pretty obvious. It's not about saying that you have to give up or that life's never going to be the same and that you'll never overcome this emotion. No, it's just about accepting that something has been lost and that it's sad. Number 2, express the emotion. So depending on the culture, you may feel more or less comfortable with expressing emotions. And whichever culture you find yourself in, give yourself permission, give yourself space to tune into that emotion and to express it somehow, either with someone else, either a professional or a friend, or just in your own time through writing, through crying. Crying is a very healthy habit because it releases tension from the body, so never be uncomfortable with your own tears. Number 3, learn new skills. And that's about looking at what was lost. Maybe that if it's a person you lost, maybe they brought you something, a quality in your life that you don't feel you have anymore. And look at how you can cultivate that quality in yourself, or learn the skills that will enable you to recover what you feel you've lost. So for example, many people feel they've lost the opportunity to connect with others. So one skill we've had to learn, whether we like it or not, is how to connect more consciously. So making conscious decisions as to who we reach out to and when and how. Different people like different styles of communication, so we have to learn how to communicate with people, learn how to ask people, what do you prefer? Do you prefer messages? Do you prefer phone calls? Do you prefer Zooms? And so on and so forth. So we're learning communication skills, learning how to connect more consciously. And finally, create a legacy. One example of this is when parents lose a child, for example, to an illness, and they set up a charity or a fund to support other families in the same situation. But it could just be making a photo album of something that was lost, or writing a book of your experiences and journey, or just a story, or making a short video, something that you can share with others, but that allows you to create something concrete out of the experience. I recently advised someone to look at whether they wanted to plant a tree, and that resonated for them. Grief is it's a deep emotion, but it's also a very liberating and wizening one that can connect you with something very deep inside you, with a sense of the infinite somehow. It can be a very mystical experience. So don't be afraid of it. Give yourself permission to feel what you need to feel and allow it to clear the path forward for you. If you like this video, or if you know someone who needs it, please share it. Please also feel free to subscribe to Wise Wednesdays. Leave me a comment or a question if you want, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.